Hello and welcome to another night shift. My name is Yazil, and you see right, or you hear right, it's all about sound today. So we want to build something like this where we can modify the volume via script and have different channels, and we have a master volume. So let's get started. For that I have an empty project in Unity, in this case 5.6, and I just imported the sounds here, and I created my standard folders, scenes, and script. So for the beginning we need some kind of UI, so we're going to 2D and right click and create the UI, I would say canvas, and we're going for the standard setup here, and scale with wide, and let's say it's 8x6 and nothing more, and just right click and go for UI and panel, and we go in there in the panel and we just stretch that out all over the place. You can manipulate the background like this and this, so it's a nice black. And now we need some kind of sliders, and so we just go and create one slider, and we position it Shift Alt and on there, and let's say we're going to have it 20 and minus 20, or let it make it 40, something like that. And then we rename it to master volume, and we put in here an UI text element, and we called it master volume. So let's pick up a color. I take yellow, and we're going to position it also in the edge. In this case it's in the edge of our slider, and we go a little up, from the side like 10 and 20 high or 30 high. Now we going for this and this. Oh no, let's go with this, and maybe a little bit more front size, something like this. So now you just duplicate that. So duplicate and duplicate. I don't make you watch these, so after you copy that, we need to build our buttons for changing the sound files. So let's close that for easy watching. So UI, and you go for a button, and I do it the same way. I just position it on the edge and go for like 100, no, 200 and minus 100. That's a bit high, down, so that's too much. 90. 90, it's there. And we go for a width of 30 and label it ambient sound up. Now down, it's the first one, so we're going for down. And into the text field, we go for a lesser sign. So now you can see, well, we need that a little bit more down, so it's equal. So a little bit more down. So, and we copy that button, duplicate, and call it up. And from the position, we just go for 250. And in the text field, going for greater sign. So I copied these two buttons also and named it to effect sound up and effect sound down. And that's for all for the UI in a moment. Next we going to see what we or how we do the audio mixer. And if you go into your camera, you see here is an audio listener, and if we put in a sound, it will be channeled. Let's do that for a demonstration. We're going and go for the Frontier Heroes, put it in here and say play on awake. And if we start that, you hear the sound, so it will be channeled direct to the audio listener. So the sound will play and goes there. What we want to do is we want to have something in between the sound and the listener, so we can manipulate the sound with effects and volume and stuff like that. So let's delete that. For that, you just right click and go create an audio mixer. Click here and call it whatever you want. I call it master mixer. And you got a window down here with the master mixer. If you don't have that window, just go on window and go for the audio mixer here. Let's do that just for demonstration. Close tab and you go window audio mixer. It's here, and we just drag that down there. So that's the master volume, and let's demonstrate it again. We're going for this again, and we just drag these thing here. So now we channel the sound into the master mixer and from there to the listener. You can see that, or check that out. So the sound is there. You can click here on edit in play mode and you can manipulate the volume. So, and now we want to split the sounds in different channels, and that's quite easy. You just go and create one with the plus sign and go for ambiente or whatever you like, and another one effects. So just drag that up here, and now you got the basic setup for your master mixer. Down here you can add filters, and manipulate your output sound. So that means you could build an extra group for echo or something like that, or low pass to volume, or the frequencies and stuff like that. So we don't want to do that here in this video. We just go and manipulate the volume. So now we have the audio mixer and the basic setup. Let's make an create empty and put in the sounds, and also here we make two new folders, empty game objects. One is ambiente and another one is effects. So in this stuff you drag in your sound files. So let's click on these and fire these four and just drag them into effects, and for the ambiente the same. Let's just do these and put them in there. So next is you have to set up the output. I don't know if you know that. You see here the fields, and if you select more than one, every field you can manipulate for the whole group. So it's an ambiente sound. We just drag in the ambiente, and for these you drag in the effects. I said drag in the effects. Okay, it's done already. So, and yeah, what's is left is to create a C# script to manipulate the volumes. So we do that, and let's go here, create. Let's call it sound, and just bind it here on this one. So we are in our script, and in our script we need to the namespace Unity Engine, and we need using Unity Engine.audio, and we need using Unity Engine.ui for manipulating text and stuff like that. So at first we need a public AudioMixer, and we call it master mixer, of course, lower. So, and then we need to have our audio sources, and since we have more than one here in, we make ourselves an array. So go for private audio source, and I would say we have one with ambiente sounds, and we got one with private audio source effects. Oops, effects sounds. So then we need the ambiente sound number and the effect sound number. So I would say it's in private. It's an int, and we call it underscore ambiente number. Let's make a default value of 0 and another private int underscore effect. Let's do the s also number and also a default value of 0. So then we go into our start function and just grab and make these lists. So we create a new game object. Oops. Game object, and let's call it game object ambiente is equal to what it is, game object dot find, and we named it, let's go here again, ambiente. No, that's the wrong one. So that's the right one, ambiente and effects. So we go for ambiente, and in there we just do nothing, and then we look and tell the ambiente sounds, and we say it's a new is equal to new audio source. Audio source. And now we have to define the number. So how many are in our array? So, and that's just easy. We got a number here, 1, 2, 3, or 0, 1, 2. So we're going inside here for game object ambiente dot transform dot child count. So we just count the childs in these game object, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we just loop through that. And here in the length we go for the game object ambiente dot transform and dot child count, of course. Child count, and then we say underscore ambiente sounds, and we say it's I. It's equal to game object ambiente dot transform dot get child and there we want to get child I, and there we want to get components, and we want the audio source. So this simple line fills our array with every audio source we got in this object. So we just copy that and go for game object effect, and go here for game object effect, effect, and then we copy these. Somewhere is an error. Audio source game object not found on the child count. Oh, of course. So that's better. And now we filled our array for the effects also with the stuff. And the next thing we have to do is, we don't need the update. Let's build the slider function, and it's just a public void. Let's say master mixer, or let's call it audio master volume, and we put in a float and we call it volume. And in there we just go ahead and set the volume of the mixer, and we called it master mixer dot, and now it comes to the set float, and in the set float you see here a string name and the float value. Okay, the string name we don't know yet, but the volume is volume. So all is to do, we have to see what string we have to put in here, and therefore we go back into Unity, and we see here we want to manipulate these slider here in the mixer, and to make these variable seeable or usable through the C# script, you have to expose that and make it known. So we see here expose parameters. If you click on there, we have no lists or no variables here. So here on the volume, you click right, and you can say expose volume of master to script. So we can just click there, and now we got expose parameters 1, and we just double hit that and give an own name, and we say master volume. And now we can go into the script and say here master volume. So let's save that. Oh, of course you have to write it right. Let's save that and go into our sound for the script, and we see here we have now mixer, so we just move in this mixer here, and then we are we ready? Let's see if it works or if we're missing something. One, of course, we missed on all. It's the play on awake. And we just say these one play on awake. So we just have one. So it doesn't work, of course. Now I know what we are missing. We have to go into the canvas on the master volume and go for the values change, and we go here and go for the game object sounds, and we say here in sounds, and we say audio master volume. Ah, I see. As you saw, the master mixer was only moving on a few values, and of course we have to set that here. So the min value is 80, and the max value, I don't want to set it all the way up. It would destroy the sound a little bit. So let's say it's 10. Oh, it's even too high. Let's say 0. And you see it works. So for the next part, of course, we have to get the other sliders into function, and that's quite easy. We go on this one and just duplicate that, and we go for audio master volume, audio ambiente volume, and set that to ambiente vol, and we going for audio effect volume, and we go for effect vol. We save that and go through our compile that and set the values also, -80 and 0, and oops, one too many, and go for the sound, and we are on ambiente volume, so we go on ambiente volume, and the last one is effect volume. Just go here, get our sound object, function sounds effect volume, and set the values also, -80 and 0. And I just saw we don't have the expose parameters, so we click on effect, on volume, expose, and ambiente volume expose. Effect vol, ambiente vol. Save project, and we go ahead. So it looks like it works. Okay, now let's move to the buttons. We start with the ambiente 1-up. So I made the function here already. So it's a public void ambiente 1-up, just a name. And then we see that the sound file, which is in the moment playing, is the stop. So we're going for ambiente sounds at our ambiente number. In our case, start case, it's 0. Stop. And then we check if the ambiente number is smaller than the ambiente sounds.length, -1. So if the ambiente sound, for example, the length is 3, like here, and we want to have it smaller than the ambiente sound length -1, so it's 2. That means if it's smaller than 2 in, for example, 0 or 1, we go ahead and say the ambiente number is plus plus. So if we are on 0 and we click one time on the button, it will be 1 after that. And then we got an else if the ambiente number is equal to the ambiente sound.length minus 1. So if we have a 2 here and the ambiente sound length is 3 minus 1 is 2, so it's equal, then we say the ambiente number is 0. So if we loop through, we are at the beginning again. And after that, we just say ambiente sounds ambiente number dot play, so the sound will be playing. We stop that, or save that, sorry, and go for our button. So our button is ambiente sound up. And of course, we're going to look for our sound item and then function sounds, and then we are going to look here ambiente, where it is, one up, there it is, blind I am. So save and okay. What happened now? We got in conflict with the let me see here, with the play on awake. So start again. Oh, somewhere it is. So after we cleared that, we start again, and it's just nothing in the moment here. And if we go one up, it starts playing. And if we click one up, the next one, and 0 again. So we just copy that for the rest of the buttons. We go here and say string copy, string v, and this is ambiente 1 down. And let's think about the logic for a sec. And the logic, we have to see if the ambiente is, let me have a quick peek over there. Yeah, I see. So if the ambiente is bigger than 0, so if it's bigger than 0, then you can do the ambiente number minus minus. Else if the ambiente is equal to 0, we say it's the underscore ambiente sound number now underscore ambiente sounds dot length minus 1. So if we fall to 0, we start on the other end. And we just copy these one. String copy. And we go for effects or effect one up. And let's close that and get the effect number. And it's the effect number, effect number, effect number, effect number, effect number, 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 get the effect sounds. So let's implement that in Unity. We go for the buttons, and where it is, Ambiente 1 down is here. Grab the sound. I'll go for the function sounds Ambiente 1 down. Effects up. Go for the sound and go for effects 1 up. And in the down, we go here again. Save that and start. Let's see. There's an error somewhere. There's Ambiente number. That's not right. So and of course here it has to be effects. So now it may be better. So that's all for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you had fun. If you did, just leave a like. If you liked it even more, as always, just subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.